In this video I'm going to show you how to work out any note on the bass clef. We can do this simply with two memory aids, and that's all you need to know to work out the pitch of any note. First of all, I'll quickly explain some terminology. The framework that we write the notes in is called the stave. The stave is divided up by vertical lines called bar lines. We write the notes on the lines and in the spaces between the lines. We also write them underneath the stave and above the stave, and these notes are called ledger lines. For bass clef, the notes in the spaces are A, C, E and G. There's a simple memory aid with these notes to help you remember them, and that's all cows eat grass. And obviously the first letter of each word is the name of the note. The names of the notes on the lines are G, B, D, F and A. The memory aid that we use to remember these lines are good boys deserve fun always. You can make up your own memory aids to replace these ones if you like. For example, you could replace good boys deserve fun always with good burritos don't fall apart. I'd actually be really interested in what rhymes you use in other countries to remember the notes, and if you use this technique at all. Please let me know about that in the comments below this video. You do need to learn these two memory aids, so repeat them over and over again until you've committed them to memory. I've written all this information so far on a PDF, and you can get that for free by clicking the link below this video in the description. Now, to find out where all these spaces are on the fretboard, look at this fret diagram. It shows all the possible places to play the four spaces A, C, E and G. A really good exercise to help you to connect where the notes are written down on the stave to where they are on the bass is to play all the notes of the two rhymes and play the notes in any position that you can find. So for example, if we start with the rhyme for the spaces all cows eat grass, we start with an A. Now that A is here, 5th fret of the E string, or the A is the open A string. Now it wouldn't be this A up here, that's an octave higher, or this A, that's an octave higher. So just stick to the correct octave for that note. Now if we move on to C for all cows, we know the C is here, 3rd fret of the A string, and also it's here. This is the 8th fret of the E string, so these two C's here. All cows eat, so E, well we know we've got an E here. It's that E, or this E, or this E. So go through the rest of the example and try that yourself. This is the fret diagram for the lines with all the possible place to play these 5 notes, G, B, D, F and A. Now I've put both these fret diagrams on the PDF, which you can get for free below. If we now look at a bass line, I'll show you how easy it is to name the notes. This is the first 2 bars of Get Ready. So for the first note, we just use the rhyme for the lines, good boys deserve. So that's a D, so we've got D, D. Then we've got a space, the second space, all cows. So that's C. And then we've got the D again. And then we've got C and C. So we've just got D's and C's in that bar. If we move on to the second bar, again we've got 2 D's, good boys deserve, so that's the middle line, and then C again in the space, and then this 4th space here, all cows eat grass, so that's C, and then we've got the 4th line, good boys deserve fun, so that's an F, and then we end with the second space, all cows, which is a C. Now this process will probably be very slow for you at the beginning, but if you practice this within a couple of weeks, that will speed right up and you'll start to just recognise these notes. Now as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we also have notes below and above the stave. So the notes below for a 4 string are just F and E. And for the 5 string we've got F, E, D, C and B. For these notes below the stave, it's better just to memorise where they are because there aren't many of them. We can also use the memory aids for the notes above the stave. So from good boys deserve fun always, we know that the top line is an A. We can carry on up from that A using the rhyme that we had for the spaces, all cows eat grass. We know that the top space is G from all cows eat grass, and we can carry on up from that G with good boys deserve fun always. The top note that you'll most often see in bass lines will probably be the A. So now you have a system where you can work out any note on the bass clef using only 2 memory aids. When you start practicing different sight reading exercises, you'll notice that the process of working out what the notes are will speed up very quickly. Obviously we have rhythm as well as pitch to work out. Make sure you subscribe to Greg's Bass Shed here on YouTube by pressing the red subscribe button, because I'll be bringing out another video explaining about the basics of how you read rhythm. I've also just published a reading music video course. You can get details of that on my website, gbshed.com, so go and have a look at that, or I'll leave a link below in the description. That course starts right at the beginning with the basics and then goes through to quite an advanced level over 8 to 10 weeks. I'm sure that a lot of you looking at this video use tab, and that can be useful to an extent. I used to use tab when I first started playing bass to read the bass lines from Bass magazine articles. But if you really want to tap into certain areas of bass playing, then reading music is a great help. And learning these memory aids would be the first step in reading music. If you then combine this with learning about rhythm, then you have the basics to reading music. I've put all the information from this video on the free PDF, which you can get below. And if you're interested in reading music, then click the link or head over to gbshed.com and check out my course. Learning to read music is something that you'll never regret, and it will open up many avenues of music for you.